Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place we can learn about body language and non-verbal communication. We keep it plain and simple and get straight to the point. So if you enjoy what we talk about on a regular basis, click like, click subscribe, and if you have anything that comes to mind during this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. So today we're going to be talking about the table, and we're going to be talking about where an individual sits at the table in particular. Alright, we're going to concentrate in that person sitting at the head of the table, alright? Okay, so sitting at the head of the table is a sign of dominance, believe it or not. It may seem somewhat random, but if that chair has been chosen for an individual, or if that individual has chosen that chair for themselves, it is symbolic of them or the other individual believing that they are the head of the hierarchy or the most, important individual at that particular arrangement. Okay, so sitting at the head of the table is important for the boss. If there's a patriarchy in a household where the man brings the money, pays the rent, does what the man needs to be doing, he may sit at the, forefront, at the head of the table. Whereas if it's more so of a matriarchal family where the mother or perhaps the grandmother takes leadership, they may find themselves sitting at the front of the table, okay? When the individual is gone, then you need to pay attention whom takes their place, okay? Because that is, the individual whom is second in command or believes they are so. So let's say the father is absent. He's gone to work elsewhere. Is the son going to take the seat? Symbolic of the prince moving into the king's throne. Okay? It's a territorial thing, okay? So the seat may be reserved as an unwritten rule for those. I wouldn't recommend going into the boss's office and sitting in his chair at his side of the desk. It'll trigger a response as to which would be almost unbelievable for the action that's been taken. Okay, now it might not be overt, because how insecure for someone to overtly declare that they feel insecure of somebody simply sitting in their chair. But it will seep through an indirect and more vicious and sinister means, okay? So you have to pay attention. The head of the table is the most visible, the most concentrated, and the boldest. You have to turn your head to the leader, rather so than have the simplicity of being able to look straight forward. Okay? Where's the exit? Where's the doorway in relation to the head of the table? Does the head of the table have an easy way out of the room in comparison to some others? Okay? Does this person have a good means of protecting themselves from any form of attack? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe everybody just has a meal or a conversation at the dinner table and expects somebody to run through with a knife. But we're speaking on the lowest subconscious here. We're talking about the primitive, the animalistic. What's going on? The person who sits at the head of the table, how do they carry themselves compared to the others? Are they seated in a dominant position? Is their head held high? The chest out? Is there a stronger degree of eye contact from that individual? There's a story now. I want to say it's regarding the Knights of the Round Table, but I can't clarify that. But there was a political figure who wanted to avoid the overt display of power by sitting at the head of the table. So they turned the rectangular table into a circular one, and still the seating positions of power were still relevant, purely as the people aside this individual were now deemed as more powerful subordinates than the others. So it can't be escaped. There always is order, there always is a hierarchy, and it's displayed ever so clearly, and it cannot be run away from. There is no disorganization when it comes to this nonverbal communication. Okay? Hopefully this was interesting. If you have experienced this or have any experiences regarding this, please leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.